and she did it for him, and that's their deal. And if it made their relationship better, who am I to complain? And I was kind of flattered that I mattered, or that he's like, hey, you used to date Brian Howie, get rid of him. Fine, no problem. What do I care? That's their situation. Doesn't really affect me. And she gave me an explanation, so you can't complain about it. And then there's the communication patterns. Does your current boyfriend or girlfriend speak to these exes regularly? Do they see them socially? Do they simply wish them happy birthdays or Merry Christmases? Do they get a card at the holidays? How often is it? Is it unusual? Does it affect your own communication and connection? You need to sort that out. And lots of times people say, I don't know why it bothers me. It just does. And you know what? That's fine. You don't have to have an explanation that makes sense to you. It makes sense to them, and you need to respect it. You asking them to have less of their ex in their life is absolutely perfectly fine. And them needing to have more of their ex in their life is perfectly fucked up. They don't need them. And if they do need them, then you don't need them. The exes have to be sort of an occasional side element, not a constant presence. And if whatever their presence is, limited or excessive, bothers you, then it's a problem. It's a problem for your relationship. So never stifle your feeling or your thoughts or your words if something, in a relationship makes you uncomfortable, whether you're on your first date with someone or you're in something serious and committed. Speak up. It is your right to speak up and have a conversation about it. Don't be confrontational about it. Don't be accusatory about it. Just very simply lay out, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm feeling. Can we talk about this? Because if it bothers you, it does affect the relationship, and it affects that relationship's potential. And your partner doesn't want the relationship's potential affected in a bad way, so they're going to be interested in this conversation. If you want or need to have zero exes around, you have a zero tolerance policy on anybody that your partner dated before, ask for it. Not everyone will be completely amenable to the request, but it doesn't hurt to make it if you make it reasonably. Just like anything else in life, if you lay it out honestly and reasonably, the other person is going to comprehend it and probably respect it a lot more. And who knows, a reasonable conversation may diffuse whatever feelings you had about it that caused a problem in the first place. And everything may remain the same, but with a lot less angst about it. If you just ask, why do you need to talk to this person? And they might give a reason that is somewhere north of, if I don't, they'll kill themselves. Something that's a little bit more reasonable, or maybe they don't even notice it. I mean, you're probably going to get beyond it a lot quicker if you simply have the conversation. But it is a healthy exercise. Assess the exes. Discuss the exes, and if need be, discard the exes, and never let them hide you. Never let them hide you from their exes, because that's a problem, and that's fucked up. They shouldn't do that. If they are with you, they are with you, and they need to be proud of it, they need to be open about it, and they need to be honest with it. Because if it's a problem for you singularly, it's a problem for you too collectively. So have the conversation, and that's what we're doing here right now. Talking about exes is healthy. Having them is normal. It's a normal part of a active dating life. There's a discard pile. There certainly is. So finding their place in your world, the two of you, is something that needs to be worked out. And if you need to toss them all overboard, well, so be it. Happy sailing to you. So, bottom line, your relationship with your exes needs to generally be distant, calm, cordial, and unemotional. And so does your partner's. Okay? The two of you. Those need to be the adjectives to describe the relationship with your exes. Because again, if they're still furious every day and they're up in the middle of the night angry at their ex, they're not over their ex. And so you need to sort of take a time out, put a pause on your relationship, and so they could sort of process those emotions. They shouldn't be too happy or too sad or too angry whenever the ex pops into their mind or comes into your life. They should never be a daily presence in you or your brains. What's past is past. What's done is done. You want to be friends? You want to be friendly? Fine. You want to be BFFs with your ex? That's a conversation at least, and a tricky situation at best. So you got to think about that. And you got to think about that if your partner wants that. Who is really important? What really matters? Is it worth it? What are the odds of drama flaring up out of this? And ultimately, how does this make your partner feel? And how does your partner make you feel when it comes to what came before you and the two of you? It's tricky enough one-on-one. It's tricky enough to work things out one-on-one. When you have personalities involved that are not necessarily on the same page or have the same interest as you two, there's no more reason to carry on with it. So you're going to have to make a move and decide what you need in your life and how it manifests itself for the two of you. Anyway, the aforementioned online show we did recently that I just mentioned at the top of this show, it was the finale for 2020. So with that show, we wrapped our 7th season of the Great Love Debate touring the world. This year was obviously a bit more circuitous and had some stops and starts and some challenges, just like everything else. Such is life and such is love. But in many ways, I think that it was our most enjoyable and successful season ever. And we are more appreciative than ever and grateful that we do this and get to do this for so many people in so many places. So often, and even in some different mediums than we did when we started. So we will be rolling out our 2021 schedule in the days and weeks ahead. So check out greatlovedebate.com. And if you want us to come to your city in 2021, it's got to be a reasonable sized city. If you live in a town with one whistle stop and 650 people in it, probably going to be a challenge. So you're probably going to have to pick a place with an airport. Can we do that? Pick a place with an international airport. I don't care if they fly just to Montreal in the Bahamas. That's the bottom line. So if you want us to come to your city, shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com, and make your pitch, because you never know. And as always, at the Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.